Today I fucked up by trying to get rid of my erection. Today I had morning wood. In order to save myself the embarrassment of leaving my room with an erection, I pulled up a gay porn video on my computer because that was the only surefire way to get rid of it. Unfortunately, I spent so much time worrying about leaving my room with an erection that I completely forgot to lock my door, and my mom walked in on me watching gay porn while I held my erect penis, in order to feel the erection diminish in real time. Now, not only has my mom seen my erect penis, she also thinks I'm gay, and no matter how many times I tell her the real reason I was watching gay porn, she refuses to believe me. Too long didn't read. I watched gay porn to get rid of my erection, and now my mom thinks I'm gay when literally the opposite is true. PSCHHHH, that's what waistbands are for. So, you're clearly in denial about your gay identity. In a literature class I had to take in college, we were split into groups and each group had to present a classic short story to the class. During one of the group's presentation, one of their members kinda casually arched his back and put an arm out stretching, and his shirt came up and you could 100% see the tip of his dick for a quick second. Made direct eye contact with the guy sitting next to me and he just smirked and shook his head, smiley face. That's exactly what a person who likes gay porn would say. Lol, gay porn would. I was holding my dick while looking at gay porn, but only so I knew my erection was going away. Yeah, we definitely all believe that. Weird way to come out, bud. IDK man, sounds like you like gay porn. Denial is the first step to acceptance. Today I fucked up by accidentally writing the eulogy for my dead best friend. Too long didn't read, at the bottom. This FU happened in the early 2000s when I was in high school. My best friend, I'll call him James, were seniors in high school and were hoping to get accepted to the same university. I was a pretty good writer at the time, went on to be an English major, so I breezed through my application essay. My friend, however, was struggling with it, so I pretty much offered to write it for him because I really wanted us to go to college together. Theme of the essay was something generic about overcoming adversity. I didn't want to outright lie or make up stories about my friend's life, so I used some of the things that I knew to be true and embellished them a little. For example, he was the son of Eastern European immigrants who did well in the States, so I wrote about how he sacrificed his time to help out with the family business to turn it into a success. The parents didn't have a business, they just got good jobs and worked hard. In elementary school my friend's father tragically died in an accident, which profoundly affected my friend. I knew that was the sweet spot to tug on the heartstrings of the application evaluator. So I wrote about this saga of my friend taking on the fatherly role for his little sister after his dad's death, and highlighted specific things like teaching her to ride a bike, taking her fishing, etc. Now he was great to his sister, but I embellished all of those scenarios. I used very emotional and poetic language to describe his love and specific sacrificial acts for his sister and his mom. Okay, maybe I did make up a lot more than I had intended to. Anyways, a few months later we both found out that we got into the same university and we were absolutely psyched. Then, just a few weeks later, my friend was tragically killed in a car accident just a few months before graduation. This decimated the entire school. I, obviously, was wrecked. Now here comes the FU. The funeral was absolutely packed. Standing room only in a big church. If you've ever had the unfortunate experience to going to the funeral of a student, you know how it goes. The service was going along well enough, meaning it was devastatingly sad. When I thought things were about to come to a close, the priest makes an announcement. Before the service comes to a close, James's little sister will be reading a personal essay that she found on James's computer. As you know, James was accepted into name of college, and this was the essay he used for his application. Yup, it was the essay I wrote. Full of embellishments and made up stuff. I almost threw up right there in the pew. James's little sister proceeded to get up there and innocently read my words as though they were my deceased friend's words. I was sweating, I was nervously looking around thinking that somebody would recognize recognize what was going on, because I did a lot of the essay writing in one of our classes together. It was pure torture. The only thing I could do to ease my conscience was to assume that little sister had already read through the essay and showed the mum, who also read through it and approved it. Meaning maybe my embellishments were actually somewhat close to the truth. Or perhaps this was a last-minute surprise and she chose not to proofread it ahead of time, and wanted to experience James's last words with everyone else at the funeral. It was the eeriest, most guilt-ridden feeling I'd ever had. Thankfully, when she finished reading, she was met with a round of applause. People were in tears, which was plenty appropriate for the environment. Pale as a ghost and uncertain of what to do with my feelings, I didn't talk to anyone once the funeral was over. I went home and hoped it was going to be okay. I still miss him terribly, and the memories we would have created in college. Too long didn't read. I wrote my best friend's college application essay and embellished and made up a bunch of stuff to make him look amazing. The essay was innocently used for his eulogy by his little sister, and I felt like an asshole. If it makes you feel any better, it was probably a huge relief to his sister to have that to read. Embellished or not, it gave her something heartfelt that she could share without having to put all the words together herself. I couldn't speak at my best friend's funeral, many years ago now, because I just couldn't put words together. It felt like nothing I could say would be fitting. You, accidentally or not, gave her something good enough to warrant tears and applause. She didn't have to agonize over writing something herself when she was already in pain. He is your best friend, and while I'm sorry for your loss, he would probably laugh at this and tell you he wouldn't have wanted his words at his funeral anyway. After all, we often know our best 6 friends better than they know themselves. I don't have much to say other than I'm sorry for your loss and how you had to go through all those terrible emotions on top of your grief. I don't know how you handled it on the spot, but kudos to you because it must have been incredibly hard. Dude. That's a unique kind of torture. To be honest, he's probably woeful in his grave. R.I.P. While every detail in the essay may not have been accurate, the whole work itself created an accurate picture of how you saw your best friend. That work spoke to his little sister enough, gave her enough solace that she chose to share that work with your best friend's entire community at the funeral. You brought his little sister some measure of peace, and you did it with an accurate perception of your best friend that is nothing to be ashamed of. On a personal note, if my best friend were to write my eulogy, intentionally or not, I would consider it an honor. If it was an essay like the one you wrote, one that was a reflection both of how you saw him, and how much you wanted to experience college with him, even more so. All I'm trying to say is, I understand why that was a mortifying experience for you. But as someone who has attended about 5 too many funerals, I don't think you have any cause for shame. Today I fucked up by fist bumping a customer that didn't want to be fist bumped. So this happened a few years ago when I was a somewhat new barista at a coffee shop. Green, famous, a siren as the logo, fraps, you get the idea. New baristas are usually put in drive-through since it's easy, and all you need to focus on is ringing orders through, charging customers, and handing food/drinks out, as well as deal with the occasional annoying customer. This was my first retail job ever. I was a fresh high school grad, timid and socially inept, and for some reason, I would always mess up some way or another in the easiest position ever, either by being excruciatingly awkward with the customer or ringing something in wrong. So mistakes would weigh heavily on me. But even though cute, 17-year-old me would internally cry at my terribly awkward social skills and inability to function normally, I'd have to renew my big, trembling smile and brittle enthusiasm for every incoming customer. I always put my best cheerful foot forward when greeting customers and occasionally tried to spark conversation, which is actually something we have to do as per work standards, even when the customer didn't reciprocate that same energy. Often, I would just go along with a customer's joke or pretend that I was really interested in where customers got their nails done. One morning after the 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. rush passed, I was on drive by myself. things were slowing down, and I felt quite good about not messing up so far in my shift. So I was excited to meet the next drive customer. Usually, in response to my cheery greetings, or any greeting for that matter, customers respond with at least a hello or how's it going, as per normal human etiquette. Customer X did not. Customer X wrote his own rules. He rolls up to the window and I greet him with a cute hi there. Your total today is /______. How would you like to pay? He says nothing and just brings his fist up through his open car window, within my view. I took his wordless action as a physical cue that he was going to pay with coins, so I cupped both of my hands beneath his closed fist so that he could drop change in my hand. He doesn't open his hand and just stares at me. So I get the idea that he doesn't want to pay in coins, but that perhaps he is anticipating a fist bump for some reason. So I go with it, I fist bump him, which makes him give me a confused look. I get confused too, so I cup my hands under his fist again, thinking maybe he wants a fist bump before giving me his change. He then proceeds to open his fist, palm up, to reveal that nothing was there, and then holds his hand in a fist again. For some reason this makes me think he's performing the magic trick where the magician shows you there's nothing in his hand and then he makes something appear after closing it. So I say oh and cup my hands a third time under his fist, thinking I'm just going along with another customer's shenanigans. Nothing happens, so then I fist bump him 2 more times, trying to activate the release of change or something. That's when he finally shoves his wrist toward me and I see what his deal is. He was just trying to pay with his Apple Watch, and he still didn't say a single word. I immediately ducked beneath the window in embarrassment and laughed awkwardly and loudly at myself. I heard him chuckle while driving off as I died on the floor. Too long didn't read. I didn't understand why a customer was wordlessly offering me his fist, so I fist bumped him multiple times, not realizing he just wanted to pay with his Apple Watch. Edit: I usually find these edit thank you end notes cheesy and annoying, but just wanted to say thank you to everyone for the upvotes and awards. Embarrassed smiley face. The most upvotes I've ever had on a post was 2 lol. Glad I could contribute to this subreddit and that you enjoyed it. Crying face, crying face, crying face. One time I tried paying with my phone and the cashier thought I wanted her number, so she said I have a boyfriend. LOL, that's the best. Smiley face, smiley face. This really gave me a good laugh. I'm so sorry that happened to you, lol. I feel like this is something that would happen to me, too. I hate when customers do not care how difficult they are, they just refuse to talk to you like a normal human, lol. Exactly. I felt especially broke, like when I first came across a B-day. I ain't rich enough for this, don't know how this is supposed to work. He should have said something. I douche. This is the funniest thing I've read since that IT guy ate most of the corporate chocolates only later to find out the oversized box was a gift that was being given away the next day.